Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? Another day in the world of the sideways crypto. Just happy to be here. I'm done with it, man. Like, in the back of my mind, I knew this. I knew that it wasn't the right move. I'm no longer going to buy Chipotle. I've had my gripes with it in the past, but I can't sit by idly and let this continue. And that is the hill that I will stand on. Also, another hill I will stand on is, why don't you guys call me out more? Yesterday, I forgot to turn on the delay so that my mouth matches up with my words. And nobody said anything. So I was just chilling with an unsynced mouth. Nobody likes an unsynced mouth. But it's true. I'm done with Chipotle. It's not even like I'm disgusted with it or anything like that. It's all right. It's Chipotle. It just comes down to value. Like, it's like $10 for a bowl. And I feel like I'm really not even getting that much. And I went and got Qdoba's for the first time in a while, just because like Qdoba's kind of out of the way. Chipotle is like where I sit when I DoorDash, so it's just a lot easier. But like, I spent $13 on a bowl at Chipotle, so I spent $3 more. But the amount of food that I got, ridiculous. Like, and it, I'm pretty sure it tasted better. Like, I say I'm pretty sure because I just ate it so fast. But that's probably a testament to how good it was. Thing with Chipotle though, you go there, you get a bowl for $10. But that's if you get regular chicken, and you only get rice and like some of like the basic shit. Guacamole. They put like a little scoop on it. Boom. Another $3 added to the total. Queso? You want queso? Boom. Another $1.39 added to the total. Like, and by the end of it, you got a $16 bowl, and it's all right. You go to Qdoba's, you get better queso, and for $13, you don't have to pay anything extra for any of the toppings. So you can get guacamole, you can get everything, you can get the entire menu into a single bowl, have so much food that you don't know what to do with for $13. I mean, I wouldn't say that AZ. I don't think it's the employee's fault. It's like, it's the corporate hierarchy. Like they make it that way. If you give a customer too much, you're wasting food, you know? But all I'm saying is, if you typically go to Chipotle, if that's your spot, go to Qdoba's, try it out. Or you might not like it. That's your thing. But Qdoba's better. Like, their queso always has been. If you can remember the time when like Chipotle had no queso, I don't know if they never had queso at all, but when they had queso in the beginning, when I first tried, I thought he was dying. It was like cottage cheese. It wasn't even queso. It was disgusting. Hey, Kite, what's your opinion on all the trading channels that sell courses and make millions with views? They might not even trade, and what we assume they do. That is my opinion. Like, the only channels that I personally believe in, which Data Dash has been known to take like pretty big sponsorship deals, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's putting on the front that you can trade, when really you're just like gambling money that you're making from other sources. That's the problem. So Crown Crypto, like I love him. He made a product that adds a lot of functionality to someone's life. Love that. The best that I do is like, I have, the Patreon for the Discord. And the thing is like, I really don't keep up to date on it. I'm not actively kicking people out. So you know. That probably will be coming to an end eventually. But I don't try to like money hungry people when it comes to that. So like if they miss a month, so what? I'm not gonna kick you out of the group for a month just for you to come back. I'd rather show like good faith. But yeah, like Crown Crypto, like he's like the ideal YouTuber. I think there might be 2 Crown Cryptos. I think one might actually spell with a C. I'm talking about the K. Eric Crown Crypto. He's legit. But there's a lot of people. So like I'm not gonna say any names, but like it just comes down to this. All right. If you are selling a $1,000 indicator and you have 200,000 subscribers, let's say that 20,000, which is 10% of those people, bought that indicator. Sometimes they bought it for 0.1 Bitcoin. If you didn't spend that 0.1 Bitcoin, well, then you made an extra couple thousand off that purchase. So now, let's see. Let's do the math real quick. And I'm not saying like, obviously this is smart from a business standpoint. All right, but we're arguing the ethics of it. All right, so 20,000 people times $1,000 indicator. All right, so right now they're sitting on roughly $20 million. Okay. Who does that sound like? Once again, not gonna name any names. All right, then add on top of that, you're selling an indicator that costs $1,000 for a lifetime membership. In the past, you were charging monthly. You had your own Discord group where you offered signals to a indicator that they were buying from you. So people that weren't having success with the indicator, because indicators don't necessarily equal success, go and buy this $500 trading group where you're supposed to give them signals through that indicator. So I don't know how many signups they would have on that. So now you have $20 million plus a couple extra. And then also you're convincing all of those people that they need to sign up with your Bybit affiliate link. And just for honesty's sake, I think I checked in the entire lifespan of me having the affiliate link, my Bybit has generated $100,000. So putting that out there. So for a small YouTuber like me to generate $100,000 over the course of like, I would say like 5 years. All right. Put that into perspective of someone that has a much larger channel and they have a lot more degenerates in their channel. I try my best to make sure that if you are going to trade, you have the correct tools and you think properly. Other people, here's this indicator. Go make money. It's going to make you magical. And then you just start throwing money at a dartboard and you don't know what's going to hit. So they might be making $8 million over the course of 5 years compared to my 100 grand. It's a little bit under 100 grand. I don't know what it was exactly, but over like 5 years of being on YouTube and having a Bybit affiliate link. So to take $50,000 of that and put it on 20x leverage and then claim $1 million trade for a thumbnail and for clickbait to get more people to buy your indicator so they could have $1 million trades, you can see how that $50,000 very quickly becomes a very small portion. Now, let's say that they aren't a good trader. They're not necessarily profitable. They could be hedging their trades on a different screen so that they could have one winning trade and the other one's losing. So now they're kind of just doing it for show. There's a lot of facade is all I'm trying to say. So your point is correct. So that's why when it comes to my YouTube, I try to make sure that I don't offer a course. Like I offer one-on-ones, because if someone wants to learn what I'm doing, I don't want it to be one size fits all. I want you to buy a very nice rounded $50 hour-ish session with me. All right, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. If you're like, hey, I really got it. Thank you. Good job teaching. Very reasonably priced. Okay. That way, if you do want to learn it, like I'm there. Like you can physically ask questions. You got face-to-face contact while our camera's on, all that good jazz. So, and then like I said, I have an Bybit affiliate link, but my whole thing is it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you come to my channel and you like me and you decide that you want to use my link, well, I'm going to do the best that I can teach you because I'm thinking the long game. I'm not thinking the short game. I don't want to just sucker you for your money. I want to make sure that I'm a little tick, a little parasite on you for the rest of your trading career. Well, until you move exchanges because Bybit goes KYC. So I make it sound evil, but the whole thing is if I can teach you to be a better trader, well, you're going to be profitable. With that profitable account, it's going to compound into a bigger account. Therefore, your trading volume is going to go up, and therefore the fees that you're already going to be paying to Bybit, well, a small percentage of that goes to me. It's a self-fulfilling cycle where if I do a good job, you do a good job, which benefits me. So even if you aren't buying the Patreon or, buying a session, all right, I still get a kickback for the amount of work that I'm putting into YouTube and the content that I'm putting out there. That's the way I see it when it comes to affiliate links. Now, if it's a predatory affiliate link like associated with a website that doesn't offer value, obviously Bybit doesn't offer value. It offers a method, a vehicle to create value if you choose to use it correctly. But stuff like TV Hub, when we had access to Bybit, we had the API. It was a tool. It was something that really offered usefulness to the subscribers, so therefore I attach it to the channel. But I get hundreds of emails every single day. No, not hundreds. Way estimate. I would say probably about one email a day from different exchanges offering various different SKUs of profit, trying to get me to go and take you guys over to their website. I get just ads, sponsorship reach outs for like stuff that it's stupid. So there's a lot of money that is floating around this crypto YouTube space, and a lot of it is not fun to really realize and then see the honest truth of it. I even have the chat open this entire time, so I'm like, go ahead. And then let's say this hypothetical YouTube channel with around 200,000 subscribers, one of his team members might be a sibling, reaches out to a guy like me, and they see that I'm using something, I've created something that is useful. Well, out of the goodness of my own soul, I go and I teach that man how to use it because I'm like, oh, he really wants to learn. I'm not going to, judge. So I spend the time teaching the sibling of that YouTube channel how to use the risk reward calculator and why it should be used, which is, you think these good traders would already like have something like that. But no, it's like he has never been introduced to the idea of it before. And then lo and behold, a couple weeks later, hypothetically, this risk reward calculator shows up on their website for a subscription model. Crazy, right? Who would do that? That's insane, man. That's insane. You said clipped and sent to the IRS. They already know, man. They already know. I'm on the hook. All right. All right. This is your lifetime reminder to do quarterly taxes. All right. I know taxes suck, but do quarterly taxes so you don't end up like me. All right. Taxes suck. Taxes are stupid. How do we trade Market Liberator to make money? Well, so here, if I had to break down the steps of like what I think would be a viable strategy, if you're going to use an indicator that's momentum based or oversold or whatever, the problem is that once you start combining a lot of indicators on top of each other, you start to limit your chances of trades in a way which could further cause your psychology to perhaps mess up. So it's all about finding the happy balance of what do you want? Do you want to have like the highest, in terms of win percentage? Would you rather have a low win percentage, but that way your psychology doesn't go all out of whack and then you end up doing something stupid? So take, for example, Market Liberator. No other, thing attached to that. I would assume that in order to use it correctly, just from there's 5 indicators built into it. You got money flow, stochastic RSI, you have momentum waves, which are basically just MACD simplified. What else do they have on it? You have the VWAP, which is just literally just a representation of when those waves close together. So I would say, like, if you want to use that specific indicator, well, if you want to use it the most efficiently, well, you would have to find confluence in all 5 of those indicators lining up for a certain move. Because sometimes it might be only 1 or 2 of them lining up. Well, is that good enough to go ahead and take a trade? I would say if you're just starting off with trading, I don't want you to get overcomplicated with a bunch of different indicators trying to find confluence with them. Probably start off with 2. So what I'm thinking is, say for example, the small time frame ABC strategy that I'm trying to build out right now. All right. Well, I'm still trying to figure out like what R&R is acceptable, but beyond that, like what gets me into a trade. Well, if I can find confluence between the MACD and the win rate of the trades that I'm taking, well, that means that I need the MACD to be in confluence with me having an ABC. So take, for example, this ABC. All right, this is the trade that we had on the board last night. All right, well, it didn't work out. I got stopped out, but I won the trade before that, which was over here. So this was a 3 R&R. This one was a 3 R&R, but ended up losing, so I lost 1. All right, so in order for a 3 R&R to be profitable, well, break even, you need a 25% win ratio. All right. So given that fact, all right, I'm at a 50-50 win ratio right now. So I'm still profitable. All right. I'm still have a little bit of extra from the last trade. All right. But let's say, for example, like I could perhaps, like if I look at the 1 hour and see if the 1 hour was bullish during that period of time, which it was. All right. If I can find a confluence of, all right, I don't want the 1 hour to be necessarily bullish when I take shorts, or I want it to be bullish when I take longs. All right, over here, it wasn't technically bullish, but it was pretty damn close. Whereas over here, it was not. You can see the histogram, for example. All right, the histogram is all the way up here when that trade got triggered. But over here, you can see we're kind of like dancing around in the middle. All right, so it's a good pivot point. You have those two, they have the A to the B right here. All right. So I don't use Market Liberator or Fu Manchu or the one that shall not be named. But it would work something similar to that. Now, the only thing is with that indicator in particular, you don't have any definitive way of entry. So like with ABCs, all right, I have my A and my C. And once we get back above or below the A, that's when I take my trade. Whether or not I have confluence with something else, or the momentum's telling me something. All right, which makes sense on a higher time frame because obviously momentum takes a long time to shift, and you might see the ABC before you see the momentum shift. All right. So in that case scenario, you would probably be looking more at like a DCA strategy, but then you're probably going to have moments where you feel like you're not being your margin's not being utilized correctly. Because if you're working purely based off of momentum and the market being oversold, well, where exactly do you enter? Where exactly do you set up your stop loss? That's what you're gonna have to figure out. All right. And then what's going to be your exit signal? Is it going to be a predetermined, I want a 6 R&R, or is it going to be, I'm going to let momentum carry me as far as it can go so I can maximize profit? You're going to have to figure these things out. It's not something that is just there in front of your face. It takes testing, which is why that how to bounce back from losses video exists. I did mess up on a couple parts in terms of, you know, a 1 to 4 R&R being a 25% win rate to break even. You can go to a win rate to restored calculator to find that out. But you, like I said, you're probably using more of like a DCA strategy where once you start getting the signal that, hey, all of these indicators are lining up, you start taking a short. And then if it goes up a little bit further, you'll take another short. And you would have to be using a very small amount of margin on the first trade and the second trade and the third trade. And then if everything goes correctly, let's say that you have 5 points where once you get a signal, you can DCA, you know, a short here. And then if it goes up 0.25%, you DCA another short, 0.25%, 0.25%, you DCA another short. But then if you get to 5, then you have a hard stop loss of, you know, 1%, 0.5%, whatever you want. It depends on which time frame you're trading on, of course, because once again, momentum takes a long time to shift. All right. But you can see what I'm talking about. All right. Because you are DCAing, if you start off with a very, like something similar to what I'm doing, which I have, this is how much margin I put into a trade. That is my stop loss. That's it. All right. But in that case, now you can't necessarily just go, I'm going to throw $100 at it out of $1,000 portfolio. That doesn't work. You're going to have to put in 20, 20, 20, 20. That way, if you lose, you're losing your predetermined by Kelly criterion risk amount. See what I'm saying? So it works in a different way. So I much prefer, and I think, I mean, obviously the channel shows that, strategies that have like a predetermined, I will enter here method. All right. Where like, if I did what I was just talking about in terms of DCAing, but really doing it intelligently, but then you have the opposite scenario where maybe you only got 2 of those DCAs in, and then the market absolutely plummets, and then you go, man, I could have made so much more if I wasn't a pussy and I just threw all the money in. But you're not being a pussy. Like, see how your brain can play tricks on you, and you're like, next time I see that signal, I'm really going to trust it. I'm going to throw more money at it. And then you get burnt that time. And then on top of that, you're still trying to DCA because you don't want to get rid of a trade. Mm-hmm. All right. Hopefully, like, that was really long, but I feel like that was really well thought out for like something that I don't technically use. But if I was to approach that indicator again, that is possibly everything that I've learned, probably how I would try to approach it and make sure it works in terms of win percentage, average R&R, and then narrowing down the confluence between indicators to find out the best possible outcome, not only for profit, but also to tame your brain. All right. And I liked the little thread you had with the guy on the video where you talking about, you know, he was talking about like, why does psychology even matter? And it's the only thing that matters. Cause like, I don't care how, you know, unless you're a quant trader who built the algorithm and, you know, sets it aside, like, you're still in charge. You have to pull the trigger every single day. You're going to have sweaty palms at certain points in time. You're going to be irritated because the market's not moving, or your trading strategy is not performing quite well during this period of time, but you're still having to trade because you have a trading strategy. You're going to be constantly going through these things. And then when you're first starting out trading, your psychology has to, you know, determine which trading strategy is right for you and how fast you want it to happen. It's everything is psychology. All right, now, obviously, the end result that you're looking for is, I have a trading plan, I follow my trading plan, but no matter how secure that is, you're still going to have moments of irritation, moments of fatigue. And that's why I rather not have a strategy that requires full brain processing power to make sure everything is lining up, the stars are aligned, you know, and going and checking 1,000 different things to find out if I want to be in this trade, just to be stressing out about it later. You know, I'd rather have a simplistic way of entry. All right, might not be the most profitable, but it's something that I can consistently do, and it doesn't stress me out. That way fatigue doesn't set in and I start trying to chase the market. So do you think ABC is a good strategy for Forex at indices? Possibly like the smaller time frame one might be a good strategy. Of course, like I'm always a big supporter of the macro one as well. On crypto, I really do love the long-term strategy of ABC. Because obviously we incorporate hedging into it, so at some point you should have some sort of setup where it's stress-free. You're gonna win, either way it goes. But yeah, the smaller time frame one might suit it a little bit better because of in crypto you have much longer trends with a lot more profit involved, so therefore the R&I can, R&R can get insane. You're long 26. Hey, did you get this ABC right here? Is that what you took? You're collecting that R&R. Thank you, DCF. I appreciate that, man. So, in terms of like small time frame trade, it's definitely lining up that this one is probably going to be the next one. It should be roughly around like probably like 9 or 10 hours from A to C. And I haven't really thought about putting the MACD into focus yet and whether or not that should be something I'm looking at. But that's probably the next trade I'm going to take. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong coin. It's this one. There we go. Yeah, so I'll probably be looking for this right here. Like I said, the smaller time frame in no way represents like my macro point of view. I'm definitely still bearish. All right, just want to put that out there. But like I said, you shouldn't let your bias get in the way of what the chart's showing you. So there is an ABC that's going to pop up here. So if it gets that lower low and still pops back up, I'll take it because just don't know. They were going back up to retest this previous ABC and build like a head and shoulders. You don't know. Pop the chat out here. So, Trevor got back to me yesterday night after the stream, and he said he was using NordVPN. So if you're using NordVPN, make sure you check the settings and see if there's a like inactive timer for the VPN, and make sure you turn it off if you're going to be having DYDX on your browser for a very long period of time. I use Opera GX. It has never shut off. All right. Unless I tell it to. So Opera GX is free. You have a built-in VPN. Works wonders. And if you want to use DYDX. Just read your, he said MM Crypto and Carl the Moon loaded with Bybit money then. Yeah, and for channels like that, they probably get a higher commission rate as well. So my commission rate is 35%. So they probably get somewhere around like 40, 45%, maybe even 50%. So they're definitely making a lot more. Nothing crazy, Goof. It's just clickbait. The little short trade that we had set up last night on Ethereum small time frame. This little ABC here. It was working for a little bit, but it didn't reach its profit target. That was all. Also, my love for Chipotle failed today. It wasn't really like it failed. It was just like I fell out of love. You know, putting in too much work. Wasn't getting much back. 100% a Cadobas guy. Like I said, I kind of always have been. I grew up with Cadobas, but like now with like inflation and everything causing prices to go up, when you just compare the amount of food that you get at Cadobas to what you get at Chipotle, it's a no-brainer. You baited me in. I left dinner to watch this video. Oh man. Oh, good news as well. I even like mentioned it. My little nano leaf controller showed up today, so now I can blind your guys' eyes behind me. I was put on a nice how do I edit again? Why can't I just like set a color? Edit. Let's just do blue. There we go. Boom. Which with this camera, it doesn't do it justice. I'm working that out, guys. Like right now, like I'm just kind of strapped for cash. Just not pulling anything out of crypto right now. One, that'll be pulling out of a loss. I already owe money in taxes just because I'm a freaking 5-head. So like I'm getting by just perfectly fine. Like I just don't have a lot of money for extra stuff. So although like, you know, so like help me see like what's important, but trying to put a little bit of money aside for a better camera. Definitely not what I had before. Right. Like I said, no reason for a $4,000 camera for a bedroom setup. Makes no sense. Why I even got it in the first place, beyond me. Much different person. But I was looking at the Sony a6000. You can get them used for like $300 and then like $300 more for like a low aperture lens. So that's what I'm going to get. It's exactly what I need. It's got enough quality to like really up the video quality of like the streams and the videos, and isn't going to break the bank. Was your profit target 0.441 like it used to be? No, I'm trying to just test out different R&Rs and what is the highest R&R I can get on average with a good win ratio. So Right now I'm testing out a R&R value of 3 with a 0.5% stop loss. So that's 1.5% of movement, which is plenty viable. Like from everything that I've looked at, you can usually get some good trades when the market's chopping. What games are you playing nowadays? No more content on the gaming channel. I haven't really been playing video games. So like after I get home from doing DoorDash, I've been walking all day. I'm pretty tired. So like I kind of just chill out. And there's been nothing that like really calls to me right now. We were on an Anno 1800 hook for a long time, which eventually we'll get back into, but it's a hard thing to keep everybody interested just because it's a very long game. Yeah, there hasn't been anything really. Now, once the finals gets released, I'll definitely be playing that again. Very fun game. Hopefully, when it gets released, it has way better performance. So, I mean, it wasn't like god awful performance in the closed beta, but when you have a 3090 and a 5800X 3D, in what world should I be getting like 90 FPS on low settings, mind you? All right. Granted, I play in 4K, but all right, 4K low settings with the system that I have, I should be able to at least see like 120 on average. 120 is like just cutting it. Like when you have a competitive first-person shooter, 120 FPS should be the bare minimum. You know, are you door dashing just to keep busy? A little bit of both. So door dashing has improved my mental health dramatically. All right, because I have money that I can pull out if things really do get bad, but it helps me pay the bills. So that way I don't have to take money out of crypto, rack up more in taxes, whole shabackle. Once the next bull market hits, I'll definitely be clean and green. Be doing my quarterly taxes from now on out, so I don't have to frick with that anymore. But yeah, so just helping pay the bills, and it might not sound like it because so anybody that has worked or not worked for a very long extended period of time, I feel like you've had the moment where like it's not necessarily the work itself that makes you happy. It's just like everything that comes along with it. Exercise, face-to-face interactions, and just experiencing something new every day, which granted to a certain extent, like newness might become something abstract, but it's a choice. You can look at every day as the same, but it's not. There is no such thing as same. Cool Alan Watts, or just Tao Buddhism. The man who walked in versus the man who sat down is not the same person. And if you think it is, then you've been reincarnated. It's that whole philosophy. So, and just like, once again, it's something that it's not stressful. So it can be if you choose to be, if you want to be the DoorDasher that's, cherry picking all day, sitting in the same exact spot and complaining about no tips when you're the one who accepted the order. And just, there's so many reasons you can complain that you are in control of. So for me, like as long as someone's paying like $1 per mile, I'll take it, and the restaurants that suck, that take too long, I don't accept them. Plain and simple. So I'm usually moving throughout the day and just keeping a good attitude. It just simply comes down to like a mathematical issue. So Like, this is why, like, I don't care about, like, opinion or, like, being, like, the top dog on YouTube. Because if CryptoFace said he was door dashing, oh, man. Everybody will lose their shit. Which, I even got a comment like that where it was like, if your guru is door dashing, that's a bad sign. And to that, I would say, like, it's just a mathematical issue of every single dollar that I would take out of crypto to fund my lifestyle, which isn't even that expensive, is possibly losing $10 at a time. So if I'm paying $3,000 a month for my expenses, well, then that's $30,000 out of my future pocket. So why do I want to uphold some sort of status of I'm big trader and waste all of that money? We're in the bear market. All right. No reason to go ahead and start withdrawing crypto just to maintain some sort of addiction to life. All right. When it just requires like a little bit of effort, get off your feet, get some exercise, get healthier, to just like maintain what you got until things get good. Once we're at the top of the bull market, yeah, that's when I'll probably stop doing door dashing as much and then just kind of chillax. Because at that point in time, I'm taking profit. And then I save some of that profit, we come back into the bear market, probably go either do DoorDash again or find something else. I don't know. My goal is to be rich in the future. So that way I can do the things that I want to do. I don't want to be rich in terms of I have a Bugatti. I want to be rich in terms of like I can build a functional community and place for my entire family to live. Could you look at Axis? All right, we'll start with the larger time frames here. I can already, I mean, like, it doesn't take, I almost guarantee that this is a triple-headed bearish divergence. Like, I mean, just look at it. Would you just look at it? All right, I don't even need to bring the RSI up to know that. But from a long standpoint, you have ABC top, and then you had an ABC over here acting as current resistance to the current uptrend, which is what got rejected. So I mean, definitely, if we just marked it, let's just look at it from a simplistic point of view. So we have the ABC to the downside. All right, we have support here, support here. Beyond that point, we only have support in like this this area here. All right. So short term, you probably should be seeing a retest off about $48. The market will probably try to find support. We might actually even see, you know, ABC to the downside, B to the upside, C to the downside, touching this support here, and then possibly another bounce. And then at that point, there's probably going to be some liquidity issues just because we've been in chop for so long, over leverage people. And then it's probably just going to dive back into that region. It might not go down as far as that, but that's what I would theorize is going to happen just based off of the current market structure. Let's see if I was right about the divergence. Let me bring up the RSI. All right, we're going to go to a 12-hour. All right, maybe an 8-hour. It doesn't matter which one we choose. Let me see the daily. Yeah, they're all about the same. But you can see that we're getting relatively the same exact high. So that is a bearish divergence. We have upward slope. sideways highs, bearish divergence. And you can see like the, sometimes I like to use the RSI almost like it's like a price chart. You can see the support level right here. Okay. So we have support here, but you can see that they're relatively close together on the RSI. So you can see like the RSI on its way down will go past this level. And then we might see a bounce on price action, but that bounce is going to actually be a retest of this strength level. And if we see a rejection, that's when we'll see an actual fall. Am I not on the right thing the entire time? I mean, that's the ticker. Oh, I'm on something from the fucking New York Stock Exchange. God dang. Well, whoever whoever needed that technical analysis got it. All right. I'm gonna be honest, this chart looks like shit compared to that one. I'm so sorry, but it does. It does, man. All right, so let's see what we got. All right. We see a bullish ABC here for a possible retest to the upside. All right, so I mean, it's kind of struggling. We're going to get rid of this wick and pretend it doesn't even exist because it just looks like a liquidity issue happened on that exchange. But if we continue the downward trend, we'll definitely build this bullish ABC here. But in terms of like just breaking it down simplistically, this was our last major support region, and that's our new one. And then beyond that point, we have this one here. So in terms of like ABC method, I would say there's a chance to be bullish, but it's not quite acting appropriately. And it doesn't look like there's any like decent market structure or like market history for someone to bet off of. And with the macro bearish ABC on particularly ETH, and then just like the macroeconomics of Bitcoin itself, if it does see an uptrend, I don't think it's going to last very long, if at all. So I mean, I'd probably be looking for this as its next major point of retest to the upside, or if we put in that lower low over here at $5.77, and then we see it get above, then you could possibly see a greater retest. But other than that, there's nothing major coming up. And it doesn't look like there's any particular like entry points to get into a short on the smaller time frames. So that's what I see. I don't know who this company is, but I mean, look at this company's got some decent market structure. What don't you say? It's got a nice bullish ABC there that worked out. It's got another one here. It has this top ABC, which you would have gotten pushed out of like 2 times before it had that major dump. But that dump would have made up for all of this over here that you would have been shooting yourself for. It had a nice little ABC end here. Kind of a triple layered ABC here that would have been kind of annoying to work out through, but you would have gotten some good payoff over here. Nice little ABC top pullback. Wasn't anything major. You didn't really get a hedge position till about there. Whatever this is, I mean, it has some good market structure. You had a nice ABC top here. A really choppy bottom, but maybe you would have caught that. I don't know. And then you got an ABC right there. Whatever this is, definitely holds up on the macro. The other one you said is XEQT. Oh, this thing's dumping. This thing's dumping like a rock. It's pretty much the same exact thing that we just looked at. It's got that triple layered top. I'm pretty sure that's a higher high. It looks, yeah, that's a higher high right there. So that's a triple layer ABC top. All right, so I mean, this is your major resistance. It doesn't have any good support until these levels here, so you'll probably see some good support around this region. But beyond that point, you're probably just gonna have a major dump. It had a nice ABC bottom that you could have caught and really profited off of. Had a decent ABC top right here, but a very, very thin uptrend. But yeah, that thing's dumping. Small time frame. You do have a bullish. You have a bullish ABC that's kind of playing out to the upside, but it just looks like it's a retest of the larger macro. Is that a lower low? I'm gonna have to get my magnifying glass out here. That is literally the same exact price. Whether you caught that or not, that's up to me, dude. That is up to the God whether you caught that or not. But yeah, that's this thing's dumping. All right, almost certain that you have a bearish divergence here. Yeah, this thing dumping. It's got a look from this head here to this head here. Bearish divergence, head and shoulders. That thing is gonna collapse. So we'll come back to this. Remind me in 2 months. I wish like TradingView would incorporate like the thing they have on Reddit where you can like do like at remind me in 4 months. And it'll pop up as a notification. Now, I mean, if we do get a higher high here before we get that lower low, that would be in that 10 to 12 hour range that this trade was. Probably what I'm looking for, to be honest, but might change. I don't know. And obviously, this trade would just flip, and I'll be looking to the downside. Check out the DXY today. DXY has a small time frame ABC top, so maybe a little bit of a pullback, which makes sense with what the trend that we're currently going on in crypto. But it's still got quite a ways to retest that resistance up here. Like I said, short term might have a little bit of a pullback just to retest, and then I doubt that it's going to stop continuing. US 100. What is that? It can't all be NVIDIA. Yeah, like that. What is causing the US 100 to go up so much? Jesus. I mean, it's the tech sector in general, but like the market is it's too thin. Whatever height it reaches, it's going to come down twice as fast. I don't know what's going on with that. SPY's acting normal. Yeah, it's going up, but I mean, we're still kind of in that short range. Strange. XMR always looking like a hot mess because it is an actual currency that is frequently being used, so constant up and downs. Alright guys, it's getting pretty late here. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, I'm trading small time frame on ETH. This is the trade I'll be looking to take if we put in that lower low. But if not, I'll go ahead and take the opposite, which would be bang to bang to bang. Alright. I'm 5 days weed sober, and I'm very irritable and angry. I mean, I can relate on other things, but weed, I kind of just like quit. Like, granted, I only had been smoking it for about 2 years, but during those 2 years, I smoked very heavily. But I feel you, like with nicotine, if I quit cold turkey, it's rough. It's rough. I feel you. But you just gotta know your reason why. The thing that I realized, so like with weed, you know, looking back on it, like I don't know why I smoked in the first place. Like, I don't have any memories that are specifically associated with that. Which is a good thing, but also a bad thing. It makes me feel like I almost wasted the time that I was on it. But it's a good thing in terms of like, there's nothing tempting me to go back into a relapse. So, you can't really say that about other drugs. Other drugs, you typically have like certain things that are only possible on them. So, just know your reason why you want to quit. But, all right, guys, play safe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, let's go ahead and do the thing and head on out for tonight. My hair's all a mess. We're gonna play Wordle. Shoot. It's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired for it. But all right. I really got to get some contacts. I despise glasses. Bye.